So let's all start our playlist at the same time. Everyone got their phones ready or whatever they're playing music on. Let's start the Chelsea Wolf song in 3, 2, and play. Hopefully you don't hear it from your end. I think that should be fine. I might have to come up and readjust the volume, but for now it's good. All right, let's get started. We're going to start today on our knees. You can always sit on a block here. I'm going to face you, but you can face forward. So we're going to be on our knees. You can sit on that block or book just for some added support. No need to get too deep in any pose quite yet. I'm going to interlace the hands and bring the palms behind the head. So it's kind of like you're chilling, relaxing, resting your head. I'm going to take a big inhale and open the chest, open the arms, start to look up. As we exhale, we're going to close the elbows, bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale and exhale. So keep doing this at your own pace. Inhaling, little back bends, looking up, open chest, open arms and elbows. Exhaling, closing the elbows, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Engage the core as you do this though. Keep going. They're like little cat-cows. We're also going to involve the chest a little bit more, the shoulders a little bit more, involve the breath, pranayama. So continue doing this at your own pace. You can close your eyes if you'd like. I'm just going to make sure one more feature is working on Zoom so no one comes in making a bunch of noise. That would be mute participants on entry. Cool. We're good. So we're doing that. Do a few more rounds of breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, Ujjayi breath. When I think of Ujjayi breath, I think of as you exhale, you're kind of scraping that heated breath along the sides of the throat, almost heating it up in the mouth before it comes out of the nose. It's not like a huge rule, it has to come out of your nose during your practice, but it allows for more control. Sometimes when I'm exhausted doing a pose, maybe some kind of strengthening pose, I'll exhale through the mouth. All right, come to a neutral spine, lower the hands down, grab your strap, make it as long as you need to. Oh, I forgot this extends, perfect. When inhale, lift up the arms, make the hands nice and wide as you need, maybe a little wider than you think you need, just to start. Inhale, reach up, then lower the shoulders, plug them in, and lower the hands down the back. If you need to bend the elbows while you do this, then go ahead and widen the strap. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, hands come up. Hands come down behind. Keep doing this at your own pace. Close the eyes. Maybe going with the beat of the music. Kind of a nice slow start, little Chelsea Wolf. Just keep going like this. A few more rounds at your own pace, as slow as you'd like. Maybe not too fast. It's not good to do that stretch too fast. You lose control over how deep the stretch is. And let's all meet at the top. Arms are nice and wide overhead. Inhale, exhale, tilt over to the left. Let that right elbow come close to the right ear. Inhale, lift up. Left elbow comes close to left ear, tilt to the right. Sit up nice and tall. You can side bend a little here if you'd like. Let's try to keep the core more involved and stay upright. Inhale, arms lift. Tilt to the left. Inhale, tilt to the right. Now keep doing this, but this time we're gonna make it a little deeper in the shoulders and the arms. Inhale, lift up. Now tilt to the left, but let that right arm come a little behind the head, and maybe that left hand comes down further. Engage the core. Inhale, lift. Tilt to the right. Left arm gets a little deeper behind the head. Tilt that right hand down further to the floor. Just throwing things out of my way today. Inhale, lift up. Now we're doing the same thing, but this time bend the right elbow and let the hand come down. So you might have to take the left hand further up the strap a little to get a deeper stretch. Stay here. Maybe look up a little bit. Look forward. Release up. Other side. Bend the left elbow. Engage the core. There can be a back bend here. Just make sure your core is nice and engaged to control this pose. The moment your core goes is the moment that your lower back can be at a compromising position. Nice. Come back up and lower the hands down. All right. From here, won't need the strap for a little bit. You can move this block to the side, or you can stay on it. It's really up to you. So we're on our heels. We're gonna lean back, fingertips pointing forward. We did a similar thing on, I think, Sunday. We did a similar flow. Press into the hands and open the chest. Maybe starting to look up slightly. You don't have to let the head come off here. This gets a little awkward. Maybe look slightly up, but mostly forward. Press into the hands, spread the collarbone. Inhale, lift the chest, puff the chest up. Now, as you exhale, round the spine, shoulders come in close together. Inhale, spread the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Kind of little cat cows once again. Exhale, round. Press back up. From here, we're taking a saddle pose, half saddle. So we're gonna open up the legs. There's a couple ways to do it. You can either open up the knees nice and wide, open up the feet, slowly sit down between. If your legs aren't screaming at you, your knees aren't screaming at you, maybe you try coming down all the way. Okay, that's a very deep rendition of the pose. If that is too much, come on to tabletop, bring your left foot forward, sit down for a half saddle pose. So the right knee is out to the right side, right foot out to the right side, left leg is flat and straight. You can either stay here sitting up if this is okay. This feels like a stretch in that right quad and the knee. If you don't really feel much here, but the other pose was too deep, go ahead, slowly lower down onto your forearms, palms on the floor, fingertips pointing forward towards your low back. And you can slowly lower one elbow at a time. See if that feels good for you. This is perfect for me right now. You know, if you don't feel like you want to do a super deep stretch, even though you might be capable of a deeper stretch, really work with what you are, doing today. Your body's not going to be the same every day. You're going to wake up and you're going to feel different sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be super flexible, sometimes not. So just be patient with yourself. Feel free to flex those left toes up. Press into the forearms, and we find that puffy chest again, drawing the shoulder blades together. Really incorporating this back bend in little moments at all times, building up to a deeper back bend. The reason we're doing a deep quad stretch here in the saddle stretch is because when you do back bends, it's not just about, practicing mini back bends to deeper back bends. It's about lengthening out the front of the thighs, about lengthening out the front of the feet, opening up the chest and shoulders, because all of that needs to be undone and opened up before you come into a deep back bend. Let's go ahead, switch sides so you can slowly unbend that right leg. Whew. Other side, bend that left knee, just tuck it under. And again, you can stay here. You can come down onto your hands or onto your forearms. If you came into full saddle pose, just stay in it the whole time. as we do both sides. Press into the forearms, into the elbows, draw the shoulders up, shoulder blades together. Maybe you close your eyes. If I were at home doing this alone, I would just kind of be doing this the whole time, but that's annoying to watch, so I won't. Take a couple more breaths. Nice. Slowly press up, press into the hands one at a time, lifting up. Undo that leg. Bring the heels closer together. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Grab the shins, heels, ankles, toes, thighs, knees, whatever. Just lean forward. Shake the head out no a couple times. Nod the head yes a couple times. And go ahead, come up, swing the legs behind you. Tabletop. Move the hips a little side to side. Again, now we're doing the full cat-cow. Inhale, dip the belly, look forward. Exhale, press and round. Do this at your own pace, maybe to the music. Today I made a super witchy heavy playlist, lots of female vocalists. I just love the vibe of this kind of music. I think it's a nice rendition of metal that they're doing. And it's really nice to hear female vocalists, especially when you're doing yoga. You know, you don't have to be a woman to, appreciate, some kind of feminine movement, dancey flow. Maybe use this opportunity to move the hips left and right. Just let the music, move your body throughout this class. From here, place the left hand in the center of the mat. Inhale, right arm up to sky. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm comes down. Right ear comes down. You can let that left elbow rise up. And maybe even start to look up towards that left shoulder towards the sky. Make it a little deeper. You can continue to make this deeper by drawing the right shoulder more to the left side of your mat. Take a couple more breaths. Press into the left hand, other side, right hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, dive it under. Left ear to floor. Press into the right hand, right elbow lifts. Maybe slide that left shoulder more to the right side of your mat. Look up towards that right shoulder. Look up to the sky. Couple of breaths. Slowly come out, tabletop. Move the hips a little left and right. Now, step the feet back, tuck the toes, come onto the toes, plank pose. Grip the mat with your fingertips, press the palms down to the floor. We're gonna bring the toes together behind you. Take that left knee to left elbow, touch it. Cross it over to right elbow, to left. Step it back, other side, right knee to right elbow, to the left, to the right. Step it back another time, left elbow, left knee, right elbow, other knee. Step it back, right knee to right elbow, left elbow, and right elbow. Step it back, lower the knees, take a modified high to low and stay on your belly, nice and slow, lower down. Nice. Let's go into Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose is when you it's like you're a kid watching TV, you're on your belly, you're on your forearms and elbows. Elbows are about right underneath the shoulders. Palms down, pressing down into the palms, into the floor. Draw the elbows in towards the belly. So your belly will you watch my elbows gently slide back. My chest opens up a little. You don't actually pick the elbows up off the floor. You just kind of draw them in towards the belly, towards the hips, opening up the shoulders and belly a little more, drawing the shoulders back. Sphinx pose. Take 2 deep breaths. Shoulder blades come close together, using a lot of work in that back. Nice job. Slowly come down into your chest as well, all the way down. Now we're going to bring our arms up next to us for goalpost arms. So palms facing down to the floor. Draw the shoulder blades up and lower the chest down. Still hover the hands, but they lower down lower. Inhale, lift up, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. So you can keep the feet on the floor for this. We're going to do a count of 10. Lift for 1, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stay for 10. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down under the shoulders. Press down and come into cobra. I started whistling while doing all those poses a while ago. Now I can't stop. I'll try to stop. Sorry. Wiggle the hips a little side to side. Draw the shoulders down, elbows in. Cobra pose. So if you're not quite this deep in your back bend right now, come lower. It'll bring more work into your triceps, so that's okay. Just breathe through it. Engage the core. Feels a little impossible to engage the core in deep back bends, but try. Try to draw the belly button in just a little bit. Now from here, let's take seal pose, which is actually a yin pose. By that, we're going to slowly waddle the hands out from each other and forward. So a little further apart and forward. From here, you can either keep the elbows a little bit bent, or you can externally rotate them and let the soft inner part of the elbow flip up towards the ceiling and actually lock the elbows if that feels okay for you. If you don't feel much here in the back, maybe you waddle the hands closer to you, side to side, until you feel a light compression in the lower spine. And by light compression, I really mean like a small little tiny pinch. Doesn't feel like pain, doesn't feel like too much pressure, just a light pressure. You can let the chin come down to chest. Feeling the stretch all down the middle of the back, all down the spine. Slowly turn the chin side to side. Shaking the head no. Let's come down the belly a little bit. Hands underneath the shoulders. Come up tabletop, hands and knees. Tuck the toes, come into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Start to bike out the knees, pedal out the heels. Press into the hands. Find stillness after a few pedals of the heels. Really finding strength in this pose, stability. Taking 4 deep breaths. Engage the core, hug the belly in. Externally rotate those arms. Looking forward. See if you can take 2 big steps forward. 1 foot, then the other. Forward fold, let's take our ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows with opposite hands. Heel toe those feet apart as wide as you'd like. Let the head hang down and sway side to side. Release the elbows, feet come underneath the hips. Inhale to halfway. Draw the shoulder blades closer together once again. Flat back, you bring your hands up as high as you need to find your flat back. Crown of the head pointing forward in front of you. Take a few breaths and stay. Engage the lower core, Uddiyana Bandha, suck that belly in. Take a few breaths. Inhale to stay. Exhale to fold. And the knees, sweep the arms up. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's start with a sun A as we start our standing flow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. One foot steps back, then the other for plank pose. High to low, push up. Come down, inhale, cobra or upward facing to downward facing dog. Stay for 2 breaths. We're gonna make it a little quicker. Look forward, one foot steps forward, then the other, inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, reach. Exhale, forward fold, another sun A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One foot steps back, then the other plank, high to low. Inhale, upward facing cobra, whichever, to downward facing. 2 deep breaths. On your next exhale, look forward, hop, step, or jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep and rise. Lift the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sun salutation B. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sit down into chair pose, Utkatasana. Lift the toes, make sure you're sinking into the heels. We're going to take little pulses here for 12 counts. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Hop, step, or jump to. So if you're jumping to plank, I'd rather you jump to your low push-up. So if you're going to jump, go to low push-up, chaturanga. If you're going to step, step to plank pose. Inhale to exhale, downward facing. We're taking the right foot first, stepping it forward. Warrior 1 pose, sweep the arms up. Now, if you'd like to bring your strap into this next pose, humble warrior, you can. You can bring the arms down, reach back, either interlace the fingers or use your strap and grab the strap here. Inhale to peel the chest open. Exhale, humble warrior, chest comes down to right thigh. Release the hands, sweep the arms up. Let's open up to warrior 2. Stay here for a couple breaths. Get a little deeper in that right knee. Nice. Come down, high to low. Inhale to exhale. Other side, left foot steps forward. Warrior 1, right heel lowers down, hips forward, reach up. Nice and strong. Lower the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades in, hug the belly in. Arms come down, interlace behind you or use your strap. If you're interlacing, do it the opposite way you did before. Inhale, peel open. Exhale, lower to left thigh. Slowly come up, release. Warrior 2. Right arm reaches back, arms are strong. Deep into that left knee. And nice, cartwheel the arms down, high to low. We're meeting in downward facing. Looking forward, hop, step, or jump both feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, inhale, reach. Exhale, take a breath, hands to heart center. Hug the belly in, tailbone tucks underneath. Lifting the toes, shoulders roll back, drawing together. Actually, in this pose, press the fingertips together. I'll face you so you can see better. While you're standing here in this pose, press the fingertips together, separate the palms apart, and as you do that, it gives you more room Just draw the shoulder blades together. Now I want to close the palms to touch, so draw the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, press the fingertips together, shoulder blades come close. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, press fingertips, shoulder blades come close together, and palms to touch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's do a sun salutation C. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. We're gonna step the right foot down. Right knee is gonna lower down. We're gonna heel to the left foot to the top left corner. You can use your block underneath the right hand. And we're gonna twist open, reach back with the left arm. Now this is always up to you to do this pose or not do it, staying here or grabbing the right foot with left hand for a deep quad stretch. Again, remember we have to stretch out the thighs, the quads, before we really get into that back bend. Take a few breaths. Maybe you look back, starting to bend that left elbow, drawing the heel closer. Nice. Heel to the left foot back to center. Step it back, plank pose. High to low, you can modify or come right into downward dog and skip the vinyasa. You can inhale to exhale, downward facing. From here, we're gonna bring that left foot to center of the mat. Inhale the right leg up. Left heel is heavy. You can roll out that right ankle. Open the hip, heel comes close to the glutes. If you'd like to flip your dog, you can. Lowering the right foot down, the other side of the mat, reaching up with the right arm. Right arm comes down, reach the right leg up, knee to nose, step it through the hands. Lunge. Stay in your high lunge, starting with a runner's lunge, fingertips down next to your right foot. Heel to the right foot, a little to the right. Press into the right foot, lift up, high lunge, crescent. Anjaneyasana. Press down to that left heel, get a little lower here. We're gonna take the hands down beside us and then behind. The palms are gonna be on your back, but the fingertips are gonna point up your spine on either side of your spine. Draw the shoulder blades in together, elbows closer together. Start to look up, your gaze coming up toward the ceiling. Maybe even start to bend the left knee, come down. Hovering that left knee off the floor. Keep drawing the shoulder blades closer together. Looking forward. Hands come down to line the front right foot, step the left foot forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. We're coming right into the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Left knee lowers down. Again, we're starting with that deep quad stretch. Heel to the right foot to the top right corner. Block our book and go underneath your left hand. And you can twist and look over your right shoulder, reaching back with the right hand. Either staying here or grabbing the left foot. Stay here for a few breaths. You can continue to make this deeper if you want to by drawing that the left heel closer to your glutes. Whew. Really feeling it in the front of the left hip. Two more breaths. I'm just noticing now my little pumpkin on my bookcase is really shriveling up. I cannot keep anything alive, which I know you're not supposed to keep a pumpkin alive, but you should see the plants in my home. It's embarrassing. Slowly release that left foot. Remove the block. Step back with right foot. Plank pose, either coming high to low or coming right into downward facing dog. To downward facing. It's really up to you if you ever want to skip the vinyasa. That's what I'll call it, skipping the vinyasa, which a lot of you already know. But if you're having a lot of wrist trouble or shoulder issues, it's always a good idea to skip that chaturanga in upward facing dog or cobra. Left foot lifts up, right heel lowers down. Doesn't have to touch the floor, just as heavy. Go ahead, roll out that left ankle. Kick the left heel to glutes. Maybe flip the dog if you want to. Opening up that left arm to the sky or up and behind you, making it dancy, making it witchy, expressive. And lower that left hand down. Left leg is up and knee draws into chest towards the nose. Step it through. Keep the right knee lifted off the ground, runner's lunge. Heel to the left foot, a little more to the left. Prepare for your lunge. Crescent lunge, lift the arms. Nice and strong. Hands come down and behind. Heels of the hand can come down to the lower back, fingertips pointing up again. Same thing on this side, shoulder blades draw in close, elbows in close. Maybe start to look up, bending the right knee down towards the floor. Whew. Maybe you feel that sweat. Take a breath and hold. Nice job. Nice. Bring the hands down, line the front left foot, and step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Nice. Let's take the hands down, step back into tabletop. Let's take a puppy pose for a little resting pose. So if you have your blocks or books, grab those. You need both. You don't need the blocks or books, and I'll show you how to do it with and without it. So if you do have the blocks or books, bring them about shoulder width down on the lowest point. You bring the elbows to the top of the blocks or books. Hands come together. Knees are under the hips, but a little closer to the front. Actually, no, let's walk the knees a little further back. Starting to forget how to do this pose for some reason. And then we're gonna sink the heels and hips back. I like to keep my toes tucked. You can untuck them if you'd like. Really, all you wanna focus on is opening up the chest and shoulders. So this is a heart melting pose, Anahatasana. Let the head get heavy. It's a really nice stretch for the shoulders. If you feel tight during your wheel pose, this is a really great pose to do. And you'll have the opportunity to come into your wheel pose. Nice and slow, start to come up. You can move the blocks away. From here, we're gonna tuck the right toes underneath in our tabletop. We're gonna lift that left leg back and bend the knee. Press to the left hand, reach back with the right. See if you can grab that left foot with the right hand. If you can grab it, see if you can press the foot into the hand, opening up into a little back bend here. Little back bend, maybe a big back bend, I don't know. Whatever it feels good for you. Keep pressing, lifting for 3, 2, and slowly release other side, lower left knee, tuck the toes. Right leg lifts, reach back with the left, grab the foot. Maybe press up and lift, open that left shoulder, back bend. For 3, 2, and 1, nice and slow. Take a couple cat-cows at your own pace. Anytime you do any kind of deep pose, whether that's back bends or hips or otherwise, you always want to complement it with something of the opposite type. So since we're doing back bends, we're going to do a lot of child's pose at the end of this, rounding the spine, forward folds. Okay, from here, we're going to set up for our camel pose, Ustrasana. So Camel pose is a deep back bend. It's highly photographed. If you have, if you know your spine, you know your body, you know that this pose is not for you, then maybe, do as much as you feel good doing, and that's where you stop. And there's no pressure to go deeper. You can also come into a bridge pose if you don't want to even come into the camel at all, which is totally fine. Bridge pose is when you're on your back and you lift your hips up with your feet on the floor. Otherwise, if you want to try this out, let's start by grabbing a block or a book and putting it between the thighs, really squeezing it. You can tuck the toes, you don't have to, it's up to you. For now, we're going to untuck them together. Hands come behind us, same thing we did before in that lunge. Heels of the hands come down your lower back, fingertips up, drawing the shoulder blades together. And slowly, we're just going to lean back. So we're really using the quads here to stay lifted so we don't fall back behind us. Just doing little pulses. Engaging the core, engaging the thighs. From here, we're going to take it a little slower but deeper. So come back, see if you can stay, and then see if you can open the chest and let the head drop back slightly. Engaging the thighs. Slowly come up. Maybe wiggle the hips to the left and right. Let's try again. Slowly lean back and then press up. Engage the core, thighs, slowly come up. Nice. And as you do that, you can also squeeze into that block to engage your core a little bit more. There's a couple other ways to do Ustrasana, camel pose. Another way is to start down. Let's remove the block from the thighs. I'm going to start down on the heels with your toes tucked. Now for this version, you do need to have your toes tucked. When I have the hands come down and hook the heels, the thumbs are hooking inside of the heel, fingers on the outside of the feet. And we're going to start by drawing the shoulder blades together, puffing up the chest, drawing the elbows close. So we're already in a back bend before we even really lift up. From here, we're going to press into the hands, lift the butt off the knee or the heels, and slowly just lift the butt a little higher, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher. And if we come down, we're slowly going to lower both hips at the same time and then remove the hands. So an important thing to remember when you're coming into camel pose is that I'll show you the no-nos, which I hate doing because I don't want to hurt my back, but I'll do them carefully. I don't want you to come back clunking one side then the other. I mean, sometimes it's not that bad if you're really warmed up, but that's not really what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to do things the right way, the safe way. So don't do one side, then the other. It's a really bad way to crunch your lower back, okay? You can either engage the core and thighs and slowly lower back, or you can start down with your toes tucked, hook the heels, open the chest, spread the chest, and then press the hips up and then lift. So find your Ustrasana, your camel pose, and maybe stay and breathe for as long as it feels comfortable for you. You can let the head come back, but usually not much of a reason to do that other than it looks cool. And when you come down, slowly both hips at the same time, or engaging the core to lift up if you're doing it the first version. So let's go ahead, come down into our child's pose. Sit back towards the heels. You can have your knees nice and close together here. Arms can be in front, or they can be by your sides for an even rounder spine. Balasana. Taking a few breaths. Maybe rubbing the forehead on the floor, side to side, massaging that brow bone on the mat. And slowly come up. Let's go ahead, come onto our backs. I had a few more things planned, but I'm going to skip a couple things so we have enough time to do our wheel pose. So we're gonna start today on our backs in bridge pose to start. So bring the feet down to the floor, knees pointed up and bent, arms pressed down, press the hips up to the sky for your bridge. You can slide a block or book underneath, or if you wanna bring a little more energy into the pose, leave out the block, press the hips up. Feel the fire in the glutes, fire in the thighs, pressing for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, lift 2, lift higher for 1, slowly lower down. Now we're gonna do 2 more rounds, but the next 2 are your own choice. So you can either come into bridge every time, or you can come into wheel the other 2 times, or just kind of mess around with that, kind of feel out how deep you want your back bends to be now. So if you want your second pose to be wheel, we're gonna bring the hands behind the head, pointing the elbows up towards the sky. Mine kind of always look different. If you look left and right at each elbow, you might notice a difference, and that's okay. You know, we use our arms for different things. That means that they look different. Press into the hands, lift the hips, and press if you come into your wheel pose. You can always play with this, walking the feet closer together, lifting the heels, pressing into the hands, maybe trying to look up towards your chest for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly come down, chin tucks in to your chest, which is a really hard thing to say when you're coming down. Hug your knees into your chest. Nice job. Rock a little side to side. Let's do one more pose. If you're totally done with your wheel, then skip it, come into bridge, come into your modified bridge with the block underneath. Or maybe you're into doing another wheel. Go ahead, come into your wheel. Maybe you try something different with your wheel. Maybe you walk the feet further away and you try to straighten them a little more. So the back bend is more focused in the back than the bend of the knees. For 3, for 2, slowly for 1, walk the feet a little back, chin to chest, slowly lower knees into chest. Everyone come down, knees to chest. Squeeze in the shins, rock a little side to side. From here, let's take a lying figure 4, cross the right foot over the left thigh, open up the right knee, interlace the hands underneath the left thigh or on top of that left shin, flexing the right foot. Take a few breaths. Switching sides, left foot over right thigh. Flexing the feet. I like to rock here a little side to side. Nice, undo the foot. Knees come in, squeeze them. Let's take a twist, let the knees come to the left. Over the right arm to right side. I know this twist is always in our class, but it's just such a nice pose. You're reclined, you're laying down, and it's the same thing, but that's so important to me that we get to lay down. It's a nice, gentle way to kind of end your class. Switch sides and knees up to the right. Oh, I'm so yawny today. Look over to the left. Take a couple more breaths. Perfect timing. Our Shavasana song should just be starting. Like the knees into chest. Maybe end with one final pose. Could feel nice to come into your happy baby, not to be cliche, but it is a nice rounding of the spine. Even though it is focused on a hip opener, It does nicely round the spine, which is a good ending for a back bend class. Plow does the same thing, which I know is another cliche, but oh, these are just such good poses to end with. Ooh, my back cracked a lot here in a good way. Nice. It's probably bad that I'm a yoga teacher and I'm obsessed with cracking my back. That's one thing you should not learn from me. Nice and slow, come out. Slowly lower the legs. Maybe before you lower the legs all the way down, maybe take a second to get a little abs here. Lowering the legs nice and slow. Shavasana. Arms are down by your sides. Letting the music wash over you. Everyone take a deep breath in, fill the lungs. Open up the mouth, audible sigh out. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Close the eyes. Release the jaw of any tightness. Maybe separating your teeth. Gently resting the tip of your tongue and the roof of your mouth. Natural breath. Oftentimes there's an attitude or a sensation or emotion that's attached to different things in yoga, back bends, hips, twists, whatever it is. I always imagine that back bends are attributed to confidence, also openness of the heart. So maybe find ways throughout your days to find a nice posture, draw the shoulder blades in as you stand, as you sit. And subconsciously or even consciously, it might affect you in a really positive way, bringing you into that confident state of mind, opening your heart, bringing in a little more love that you need right now. Maybe confidence and allowing love in. Maybe that love is just going to yourself from yourself. Maybe that's what confidence is all about. From here, turn to one side. Take a moment. Slowly come up to seated, taking your time, no rush. Sukhasana, easy seat. And let's try out that new posture, drawing the shoulder blades in, spreading the collarbone. Eyes can be a little bit open, maybe gazing at the floor. Feeling a sense of gratitude for movement, gratitude for your health and safety. Feeling a sense of relief that we have resources that we need. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Close the eyes, open the chest again, draw the shoulder blades in. Listen to the sounds of your surroundings, of your music, of your neighborhood, of your home. Feel that sense of belonging. The light and dark in me loves and honors the light and dark in you. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for coming today.